Hello, welcome to Coming Out with Cannabis with your host, Christina D'Arcangelo Pooler and Wayne Kelly. Today, we're talking with Gina Vensel from Pittsburgh Sensi magazine. But first, CDP!
Hey, welcome. It is Friday. Today is International
Yes,
Women's Day.
Woo!
that's right. Happy to be
Thank
here with
God.
two great professional women. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Wayne.
Oh, you
Thank
know
you,
what?
Christina, for having me.
Absolutely. And here's the thing about International Women's Day. I'm pretty sure you probably share in this opinion, Gina, is obviously we want to support strong women and business and empowerment of others. But, you know, I feel that it's important to be Jack and Jill, so to speak. You know, with every successful woman, there's also a successful man that's her counterpart on her team. So I don't want to diminish that fact on International Women's Day. I want to, notate that there's a lot of wonderful, very, very smart women that we're lucky enough. I mean, look at our APA board. Gina's part of our board. Wayne,
That's
you're
right.
part of
Yep.
our APA Affinity Patient Advocacy Board. So I just wanted to mention that because that is something that I thought about today. I was like, yes, I want to celebrate us, but I also celebrate the men that are alongside us.
That's great.
Thank you. Yeah, and we do have a great team. But let's let Gina talk about what she's got going on in Pittsburgh and, outside of Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. Well, so first, thank you so much for having me. My name is Gina Vensel. I am the publisher for Sensi magazine here in Pittsburgh. We're not quite to launch yet, but we will be coming to launch here in the summer. So we're really excited to be bringing this lifestyle magazine to my hometown. And right now, Sensi magazine is in 8 cities nationwide, and it is a lifestyle publication that is pro-cannabis. And here in Pittsburgh, we're going to stay focused on educating the community about medical marijuana and supporting both cannabis and non-cannabis businesses and really building an educational forum for people to feel comfortable with asking questions related to medical marijuana, being connected to certifying physicians with nonprofits like APA that can help them and assist them through the process. So it's a really exciting time here in Pittsburgh because we're starting from scratch and really building this community.
It is awesome. Here on the east side, I guess, outside of Philly and Harrisburg, I gotta tell you, Gina, I'm a little envious about what Pittsburgh has going on as far as the medical cannabis community. I think Philadelphia and Harrisburg, we're a little bit, we're a step behind, and I think we need to step it up a little bit. Christina,
we are
I'm sure you
still
could
so
agree.
new, though. I mean, we just
Right.
celebrated our first anniversary of our medical marijuana program. I think the stats as of yesterday I saw was about 122,000 patients statewide that are signed up. And we know that this is going to be growing, but we're still very early in the conversation of ending the stigma and being able to talk about medical marijuana in a way that people will feel comfortable. So it's just important to be able to have forums like this where we can educate people and stay focused on the reason that we're talking about this is that medical marijuana will help patients and can really make a difference in many people's quality of life.
Yeah, I think that's the ticket, Gina. If I could jump in here, is the fact that and most of the board knows that our position is always medical, right? You're not going to see APA get behind a recreational type endeavor because that's just not who we are, where we've come from. The majority of our board members, I think every single one of us has come from the traditional side. The recreational side trips us up a little bit, no pun intended, about referring to being high or something. But, I think that we get stuck in this mess because whenever someone sees that word cannabis, and it happened to me yesterday on Facebook. So here I'm on Facebook, on the messenger. Well, before I know it, after I've, engaged about 6 or 7 of them only in Pennsylvania, I got blocked out. And what happened was I got a message from Messenger. Obviously, it was a chat bot that said to me, I have to stop sending messages like this because I have violated policy. And so, of course, you guys know me. I'm like, oh, okay. Decline. I didn't do anything wrong. I sent my thing in. I'm working in the medical space. I'm not selling cannabis. I'm not trying to buy cannabis. I'm not trying to talk about cannabis. I'm just talking about my bot that helps patients. That's all we're trying to do here, folks. And I got blacked out. That is unacceptable.
It really is. And unfortunately, Facebook is such a way that we have to communicate, and we use as a way to communicate with one another, that there's just a complete blackout of anything related to medical marijuana or cannabis. I mean, when we produce events, I'll see that you can go ahead and search for the event. Can't find it. The event doesn't exist. We know that you have to go to my page if I shared it, or I have to go to your page and we have to search for it. It's really a tricky time right now because we're still so much in this early stages of how, the conversation is going to go. But when we're talking about medical and we're talking about helping patients, it's really frustrating that we can't communicate the way that we need to using social.
Well, you remember with the Facebook event we did in Pittsburgh, you organized for us up in Pittsburgh through your Easy Street Productions group, which we were very thankful for.
And you should mention as well, Gina.
You guys did see how I did that, Wayne.
Thank you.
My co-host.
We'll remind her.
My co-host needs a little help. Okay, I'll back away from the camera.
Yes, he does. Every day.
But with that event, we got blacked out.
Yep.
And the only reason why we didn't stay blacked out was because Kara paid for the ad on Facebook, and because we pay to play, they allowed us to produce our event, the educational event, through Facebook. How about that?
That's really been the only way that I've been able to on Facebook too, is you have to put a little bit of money against it. And it just proves that they're just trying to get cash out of us, and that they don't really have a problem with it.
It's just like politics, right? You'll take our money, right? But and then you'll allow us to produce it, but you're not going to back it. It's almost like the president. You came into office backing cannabis, and you've done nothing to help us.
Okay. Let's get the yeah, we're not a political. We got folks out there who kind of like the gentleman at the office, but So,
I'm just bringing up a point. That's all.
I know. Hey, and it's a great point, honestly, because as administrator of that page, I can't even go to search and say coming out with cannabis, and it comes up. It doesn't. It won't even come up.
It won't even come up.
No.
And so really we've created private Facebook groups. I know that, there's, a lot of patient focused groups that are private. That's been working well. Utilizing LinkedIn is still a good way to connect with people. But this is a tricky time because we have, important information that we want to educate the public with, but we're still getting caught up with these roadblocks.
Right.
Well, I know for a fact that, we're close to the Teamsters, right? And so the cannabis division especially. And I was talking to Kristen Heidelbach Teramato, who's in charge of the cannabis division, yesterday.
On the channel next week.
Yes, she'll be on next week. And I asked her, I said, have you got blacked out? Have you been blacked out yet? And she told me, and actually she posted up on Facebook, a friend needs to know, because she got blacked out, and it was for me. But then she got blacked out on Instagram. Her cannabis Teamster page got blacked out. And it's like,
wow,
that's kind of odd.
I've heard a lot of
labor rights for cannabis workers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what they do to flag it. I know that a lot of patients, even if they're Act 16 compliant, if they show, using any of their products in any way, that they can get flagged. So we just have to be very careful right now while things are being caught up. Since Facebook owns Instagram, they are very much tied together that, when one feels a certain way, we know that there's rules kind of in both of them.
Well, and let's kind of talk about that for a second. People who use the product online, unless it's done in an educational manner, like, okay, this is how you get the Terrapin RSO out, for example, right? Because as a patient, I happen to use that, and Wayne uses it, right? So we had to learn how to use this thing. So from an educational standpoint, I think showing patients how to heat up the thing and put it on, whatever, that is a great idea. But people who are just smoking blunts or firing up their resin, that's not a good idea. It's really not a good idea, because now we're pushing the rec card, even though you're a medical patient, and this screws us up, because then we get blacked out.
I know.
Because this person posted on our page. That just happened to us, by the way, on our coming out with cannabis. we got flags for something. Wayne didn't see that happen. I happened to see it pop up quickly, and I had to take it down. So,
wow.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
can't,
I didn't see that.
we can't have, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's hard because with a fan page like that, anyone can like it.
Right.
So when you're in a private group, I've been able to, we have a Pittsburgh Cannabis community powered by Sensi Pittsburgh group, and we're able to keep track. I ask a couple questions about how they even got connected to us, if they're a patient, or just so that we have an understanding of how they even got connected. And then we set clear guidelines. If you break these rules, then you're not going to be able to be a part of the group. But there have been people that have posted some things that have had to get blocked. And I was very serious about it, about taking them off and blocking them right away, because we were very clear out of the get-go about what this page was intended to be. And if you're outside of that, we're trying to build an authentic community here that supports patients, not one that's going to be, posting about, can someone sell me seeds? That's what someone said. I was like, okay, blocked. See you later. You can find some other group, but you can't taint ours. We're trying to grow this up in an authentic way. That's right. Yeah.
There was also, I remember it in October, right before we were doing our event, because we were all over your Pittsburgh page. We were pretty, we're subscribed to it. So obviously you see, we post stuff up that could be beneficial to patients, but I noticed there was something that happened then, and the person was writing email or messages at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and you were like, oh no. And it was like
nobody's doing anything good at 3 or 4
I mean, it's hard because, with my Easy Street business, we also do social media marketing for clients, and, running social media is a 24-hour job, but we have to go to sleep. So at some point, we'll have to answer things in the morning, and there are companies that, and computers that can do this kind of job. But if you're a small business and you're looking for, a way to promote social media, and you hire an agency like mine, we want to be authentic with those responses. No one's going to be responding to you at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. No. But at 6:30, when we get up, we're happy to get back to you with whatever you may need, but yeah. And
it's even the comments sometimes you get, like on our Instagram, say, we have a lot of people that are following us, and sometimes we get these odd comments, and you're like, ooh, and and it's like, do I delete the comment? I don't want to upset this person, because we are a service provider, right? If it's, affinity patient advocacy, we're helping patients. I don't want to have people feel like they're censored, but I can't have weird things show up on our professional pages that we cannot get behind, Right. And so we've had people also, since we launched the show, which this is our 4th episode, we've had some requests from people who want to join our show, which is fantastic. We keep saying on every single show, if you want to join us, you have something you want to ask us, please contact us. We're happy to talk to you. See how, Gina, we've been responding to people that are from Pittsburgh that have contacted or, asked for our help. You've seen us like jump in. Usually Wayne and myself kick in there because Niraj, he's learning the U.S. marketplace, right? And, he's in India. So this is a completely different landscape for him. So we answer those questions as they come in. But we've had people who wanted to be on our show that they're doing things that were like, they're into the politics side.
They're in the borderline.
Or recreational side. And we can't,
we have to make sure we're unbiased. I mean, we're absolutely medical marijuana, and we have to stay on this side of the line. But also, as far as politics and all that stuff goes, we're just unbiased, no opinion, as far as our channel is concerned. Obviously, we all have, our own opinion, but we don't need to voice that on this medium. But before I know, Christina, I forgot to tell Alexa to remind me. Oops, I just activated her. Never mind. But what time is it? How long have we been on?
We're up.
There are no reminders scheduled.
Thank you. Okay, so we're at about 15 minutes.
Yes, we are.
Okay, Gina, let's talk quickly. We want to start wrap it up. Talk a little bit about what else you're doing. I know you're a mom as well. So and Christina, you guys are both mothers, and you're still pulling all of this stuff off. So, we think about that and how busy life is, but then you think about that as well. So Gina, please, close us out with some information about yourself, how you do it all. Easy Street Productions, is it, or Promotions?
It's promotions, yeah.
Promotions. Me, I love music, so talk a little bit about that, man.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's definitely, as Christina knows, not an easy task to juggle all of this. But I think that loving what I do is the reason I'm able to do it all. When you are trying to manage multiple businesses, projects, being on the board of directors for organizations, it can become just so cumbersome. But because I love it, it really makes it something that, day to day, I'm extremely busy, but I love what I do. So I have my Easy Street Promotions LLC, and it's a site dedicated to growing the local music scene. And then I also sit on the board for APA, as well as sit on the board for TEDx Pittsburgh. So we have a TEDx event planned in June here in downtown Pittsburgh, and then we do a TEDx Pittsburgh Women later in the fall. So I'm also doing all of that while trying to launch Sensi magazine in Pittsburgh. So this has been by far the most challenging year professionally to date, with just trying to have a 5-year-old daughter that gets to have a mom that's still engaged in her life, while also trying to do all of this. And I couldn't do it without the support, of my friends and family, and just having a really wide network of business professionals that understand. But it also means that I have to really decompartmentalize my time and how I can figure out how I can get all of this stuff done, and make sure that I'm really honest with whether or not I can take on a project, because there are just so many hours in a day. And when you're trying to do all this, I'd rather underpromise and overdeliver than let anybody down. So it's been really getting those expectations in line this year and trying to do the best that I can, and just keeping my spirits up, because this has been such an interesting conversation, having to bring about a medical marijuana magazine to Southwestern Pennsylvania. I mean, many people have never had this conversation before.
Right.
So it's opening up a lot of conversations, though, and it's allowing a lot of people to really consider how many patients are being impacted by medical marijuana. And I think that in the next year, we're going to see how much more this conversation is going to move forward. And I hope that with our Sensi magazine launching here in PA, we'll be a good advocate and tool to be able to give that information to the public. We're free, we're a monthly magazine, so we're going to have a lot of really interesting topics to talk about, because it seems like every day something's changing in PA surrounding MMJ.
It's exciting, Gina. I'm happy for you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
I know you'll do what you're set out to do, and your associate publisher. I'll give a shout out to Matt, who's not here today. He was going to join us, but he's probably
he's busy doing a lot of other stuff. We have to divide and conquer a lot these days.
I'm just happy that you were able to join us today.
Thank you so much both for having me, and especially on International Women's Day. I couldn't be more delighted to be here. Thank you.
Now, the episode I'll probably get out early next week, so just keep an eye out for that, and we'll make sure that, we push it out on all the channels and so forth. Christina, you want to close us out here?
Yeah, I guess that's my role, right?
I think so. We don't know our roles. We're just passing this ball back and forth. You know how we do.
Yeah, and you know what? There was no tea today. Did you notice I wasn't drinking tea? Usually I drink tea. Today was my handy dandy. I don't know if you guys can see this cool water bottle that I have that's glass.
Oh, it's got a little cooler inside there. Very good.
It's rose quartz.
Ooh.
Yes. So,
isn't that fancy?
Isn't that fancy? It was one of my birthday presents I got from one of my interns for APA, actually. Yes. Cool. And I love it because, what rose quartz symbolizes? It's love and friendship. And so I'm constantly, with all this crazy work we're all trying to do, and the we have to be so driven and spot on and focused and multitasking, and it's almost like being an octopus.
And hydrated.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So for me, sometimes I need to be brought back to, I am still a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a regular person. And my bottle here, I feel, with my little rose quartz, helps keep me during the day sane. So that's why today I'm drinking out of that. Plus, I'm hyped up. I had a lot of caffeine, so we don't want to do that. So anyway, Thank you so much today, Gina, for
Oh
joining
my
us.
gosh, it's my pleasure. Thank you
We're
both so much. And keep doing what you're doing. I think that it's really, really important that we continue to have these sorts of conversations.
Oh,
So thank you.
It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. And
I
go
must
ahead,
say I'm
Steve.
so blessed to have two of my APA board members on. You know, and we work together on multiple capacities, projects. You know, it's not just APA. We're all working together in a committed fashion, and I appreciate that, and especially on a Friday afternoon, it's the end of the workday. So I appreciate all of you guys joining me today and joining us and for celebrating International Women's Day.
Hey.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah,
all women in my life.
And here we
all
are.
women in my life. Let's make that.
Yeah, for work.
Yes,
work.
absolutely. It's been a blast today, folks. Let's close this out. I think we're pushing 30 minutes. So enjoy the weekend, everyone. Stay cool, stay calm, and have a green day. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.